Hey everybody, welcome to BrickVault. Today is another LEGO Top 10 MOCs of the Week episode where I show you guys the coolest custom creations I happen to see people building in LEGO throughout this last week. There are way more than just 10 custom builds that I'm going to be showing you guys in this video today, and if you have any extra time, I highly recommend that you check out some of those links in the description below to the designers that are being shown off. The creativity and quality and skill of custom building only gets stronger within the community. It is absolutely amazing the stuff that people are making, and this is by far my favorite thing that I do each week for the channel. Before I jump into the top 10 builds, first I do want to say that the custom build that came out in our web store, www.brickvault.toys, is a build that comes from my brother this time around. It is the Minifig Scale Leo from Gundam Wing. It is a massive mobile suit built in olive green with a huge amount of posability. Included with it is also a stand for a little bit of extra stability considering its range of motion and the actual size of the model. So a link to this is also included in the description below. And of course, any and all support is always greatly appreciated. Let's jump into some honorable mentions now. From Brick Depository, this is Monster in the Well. Too many great details to get into, but I love the way those tread pieces mold in between the white. Lightning Has Struck by 0937 Superfan. Great Harry Potter vignette. Rolling Bricks built the BMW M3 E30. At 9 studs wide, you can get an absolutely recognizable Beamer front end, which I love. Then Nick Brick built the Covenant Energy Sword from Halo. Incredibly ambitious, and it looks like it's strong enough to be held in your hand normally. Blake Foster titled this Turning the Tables, and it is excellent in every single way. Forlorn Empire titled this The Map, and from LMC Picture, this is the Millennium Falcon House, possibly what happens to the Millennium Falcon at some point in the future of the Star Wars universe. From Jack Frost, we have Sam the Scuba Diver, and Robson M's Gunship version 2.0 is looking really slick. Individually, I think I featured most of these builds from Asgardian Studio, but he has a photo group of them now. So many excellent flyers in one photo. And then Forlorn Empire simply titled this Doorway. I think this is part of that little building competition that they're having using a particular piston piece. Love the brick detailing. And then Andreas Lenander titled this Oblivion 2. Love the white color composition here, and that is a very slick little flyer. From the same builder, the Sandcrawler is looking excellent. I was trying to build a version of this slightly smaller, and I totally just I put it on the back burner, but I'm really liking the details from this particular version. And then from Bart de Doblier, this is titled The Abyss, and it is creepy and interesting, and mostly creepy. And now we're looking at an extremely interesting little spaceship or flyer. Looks like a fighter. Solar Siren is the title, and it is from TriPerron. Love the colors. And then I also love the colors on this model, but for totally different reasons. Just such subtle red is poking through here and there. The builder is Shiu, and the title of this robot is the SMF00 Deuce Final Battle version. All right. From RGB 900, it is the 6-stud wide Maserati MC20. In particular, I like the detailing for the very front, and we also have some excellent offset plate detailing just behind the windscreen. More amazing scenes come from the Survivors RPG. This is by Darth Bricks, and the title is Espionage on Tatooine Lunchtime. Can't tell if it's lunchtime for the Empire or if it is lunchtime for the Spiders. Also from Darth Bricks, the title here is A Shocking Exposure. I love how the road just breaks away at the end of the model, and in general, this is my new favorite style of Star Wars custom building, as the Survivors and a few other Star Wars thematic vignette scenes. All right, let's jump into the top 10. From Tom-Gerardin, this is titled Insert Coin, and what we're looking at here is the Cooker, that little roller robot that follows Wallace and Gromit around in the original short. The detailing here is excellent. It actually is part of a series of different Wallace and Gromit builds from this same designer, and I'm really impressed by how accurately this designer can actually depict the characters from these shorts. There's obviously a bit of nostalgia going back for me and probably some of you guys. If you haven't seen any of these animated bits, I highly recommend that you do so. And then this is the beginning of October, so a lot of September builds are starting to pop into the feed. From Soccer Kid 6, this is Gibraltar Cargo Freighter. The number one thing here that really stood out to me are the use of those pods. I can't remember the exact name. Yeah, these are like some pods, I think specifically here from Nexo Knights, and I just haven't seen them used in a custom build yet. At least not so many so consistently, and it really works for spaceship technical detailing the way it works here. You can also see at the bottom those pods are starting to round out. I'm not sure what piece that is, but it looks great, and it's one of my favorite things ever when I see a piece that I never really thought would be integrated into a custom build, and then it is amazingly so, just like this one. From Malen Garek, this is the Bricklabz Jedi Fallen Order Dathomir. In particular, there are some excellent details that make up the wall in the back. The ground detailing, I like how it pops up a bit above the smooth black stand. And then the dark and twisting tree vine arm piece has a way of grabbing the eye particularly well. Also using that little clip piece to hold the lightsaber blade for Cal's lightsaber is a really fun touch there. And if you're keeping count, number 7 moving down is from noblebun, and this is the C30 Cerberus. We have some excellent digital rendered details through and through for this model. Lots of macaroni piping pieces, shoulder pauldrons and snowshoes, and different clip-on modified pieces make up tons of excellent greebling detail all over the body. But noblebun has kind of a signature style, which is adding an excellent, insane amount of detailing to the inside of the thrusters. The subtle blue glow from the inside contrasts really well with the copper head axes. And say what you want about just digital rendering, but there is just some amazing stuff that happens here that you simply can't see anywhere else. From Charles W., his latest creation, the USS Cherokee-class fleet tug, built at 1:200 scale, has got some great little pieces of detail. In general, this is one of our new favorite ship builders here at the studio, and if you want to see some of the best micro naval vessels in LEGO, I highly recommend you check out this builder's flicker. This tug can be modified for attaching the bottom hull or having it rest on top of a water diorama, and the closer you look at these subtle details, the more interesting little shapes start to pop out. Moving on to number 4, I'm basically alternating between a giant ship and something else. This is from Scott Wilhelm, and though he's got some massive ships that all came out in a pretty similar time frame, this is my favorite one. It is titled Warning Crescent. It is so hard to even know how to begin describing the shape of this thing. The external details have almost a shell-like feel with extra reinforcement of black and orange on top of the dark gray body. I like the inclusion of that extra bit of bar or flexi tube detailing that runs along the spine of the Crescent. And then the interior shape of this ship feels extremely organic. It's got some great color highlights, some weird creepy mandibles in the very center, and some excellent mechanical detailing that make up some circular shapes, possibly a generator. You can see some hangar bays with ships on the inside, so you have an idea for how large this giant Crescent, Warning Crescent is. But if you want to see more amazing large-scale LEGO ships, check out this guy's flicker, because everything that comes out here is incredibly impressive. Number 4, moving down, is from Jonas Kramm. The title here is Zhi Ruo's Vegetables. Finest place to get your healthy food and have a chat is in the description there. I love the detailing here. There's so many things to point out. The detailing for the roof on the top, the little signage for the little mom and pop shop here on the electrical post is borderline genius, with the little nose detailing from the piston. Of course, there's a lot of fun little details that hang out around the vegetables and the people. I think that's a scale also that is used with that same piece, and you can also find that same yellow part in the rickshaw that's connected to the bike in the back. So many fun details, so little time. Let's jump on to build number 3. Simon Liu really got some interesting contrasting colors in this massive model. The teal and yellow pop against each other as well as any two colors can, really. There's a couple of tiny subtle pink highlights which work quite well, and then the dark bluish gray greebling helps ground this sci-fi ship. The title here is TriPerron Nomad Explorer, and the tri, I think, comes from the fact that this ship is somewhat symmetrical but on 3 planes instead of 2. And it also looks like this ship can detach into 3 different sections. In the universe of the description for this ship, there is some functionality to this, and it's also just an incredibly ambitious design from a technical standpoint. This is a physically built model. Remember, I do like to show some amazing digital renders, but making large-scale, incredibly detailed things like this actually work in the real world is a totally different level of Lego design. All right, we're jumping on to number 2, also from Jonas Kramm. It's funny, I do the recording and I don't look at the designer name until I'm actually doing the recording. I just look at it based on the pictures that I'm seeing. So that's really funny that he got into the top 3 here, even though I don't technically go in order of best to worst. I just choose my 10 favorite. Anyways, this is titled Painting a Peacock. It is a 3-dimensional peacock that is popping out on this painting canvas. You can see the different colors on the palette on the floor at the bottom, and every item in this scene feels very refined, and it helps set a wonderful tone that allows you to build a story around all the objects that you're looking at. You'll see that familiar yellow piston tucked away in a few areas of the model quite cleverly. The inclusion of those chrome pieces for both the paint and the lantern are nice. And I also like the little snake piece that's sticking out of the green. And if you thought I was doing some repeats by showing off the same builder twice in a row, we've got another gigantic Crescent spaceship for you. At the number 1 spot, this is from Markus, Rollbuhler, and this is titled the Crescent Colony. It's clearly scaled down compared to the Warning Crescent. You can see the minifigures all standing on different leveled platforms. It's self-described as a ramshackle space station, which makes sense in a lot of ways. It's only got a landing platform big enough to house just a single-seater spacecraft, it looks like. The Crescent station looks like it could land in atmosphere. It does have a bunch of thrusters, and they all seem to be pointing downwards. The colors really pop quite well. I think that's the part that sticks out more than anything else against the dark blue backdrop. Everybody's apartment seems to have a different paint job. There's some fun little different designs for door detailing, and also just a lot of interesting weird characters that seem to inhabit this station. Zooming out, the antennas and satellite dishes that speckle the exterior of the Crescent just give it that little bit of extra realism, not realism, but sort of built-in sci-fi flair. And that is going to be it for the top 10 MOCs of the week. Remember, if you enjoy any of these builds and you have any extra time, I highly recommend you check out the links to their Flickr pages in the description below. If you have any extra time, you can also check out our web store, www.brickvault.toys, also linked in the description below. Thank you so much for hanging out to the end of the video. If you enjoy our content, you can always like, subscribe, comment, do whatever you want to do. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you next time at BrickVault.